Welcome to the Lion's Den. Let's go. Let's go. Lion's Den podcast has been a month and some change.
It's been a hot
since the
minute,
last
bro.
episode. A lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, and that's definitely on me. So I apologize to everyone.
It's all good.
It's definitely on me. Just been going through, not really going through a lot. Not even going through a lot. It sounds like I'm depressed or something. Just been doing a lot. Right? Yeah. Been doing a lot. Had to take a pause for the cause. But now everything is finally settled down. Super duper excited to do this. Like, I think me and you talked all day long about the podcast. So I'm really geeked up about it. Super duper happy to do it, and definitely the highlight of my day today, bro. So welcome to the Lion's Den podcast. I am your host, Eric Compton, aka MoneyCompton. I got my man Mike Lee. What's popping, bro?
What's up,
Team
man?
Bring it. I'm digging the shirt.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yo, great shirt, man. So we got a lot to talk about, a lot to cover. Obviously, a lot has happened within the last month, but we're not going to look into the past too much. We're just definitely going to talk about the future. Probably about a snapshot of the last 7 days. So, Mike lead it away, man. What we got on the what's on the A block, bro?
I mean, first thing we can touch on is I guess your eventful time in Chicago, huh?
Yeah, man. So I went to Chicago for the first time this past weekend.
Oh, that was your first time?
First.
Oh, okay.
Like, only other time I've been there was just a layover, and I was delayed on a flight by like 3 hours. So
that doesn't count.
It don't count. So this was legit, like stepping out of the airport, getting a rental car. I stayed in a city outside of Chicago called I think Oak Park or something like that. I'm not too sure.
I've only been out there once too. It was for a job training. I stayed like right on the Magnificent Mile, right where the Apple store is. I forgot what the hotel is.
Michigan Ave, I think is what it is.
Yeah, somewhere over there. Yeah. I forgot what
I stayed about maybe an hour outside of Chicago. It was I think the city was called Oak Park. I don't know. You got me tripping now. I don't know what the exact city. Anyway,
we'll just go with it. Nobody's gonna argue.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So. Make a long story short. So, I went to Chicago this weekend, and I actually went to the C2E2 Comic-Con event, which I think outside of the one in San Diego, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the second biggest one in the nation. So you have the one in San Diego, which I didn't know. You practically have to be invited to go to the one in San Diego. Like, that ain't something that's just open. You got to be
a VIP.
Yeah, like you got to be on some like mafia stuff where you got to know people, and it's basically literally on an invitation only. So I didn't know that until I got to Chicago. So I was like, oh, okay, this is dope. Go to Chicago. You might want to try to go check out the San Diego one, because I think the San Diego one is in July. I think.
Have you been to one before? This is your first time going?
Oh, first time ever going. Yeah. Okay. So the C2E2 event was pretty dope. Lots of people. Definitely a lot of people watching to do. I would probably say my biggest takeaway, bro, is probably I felt like, can I cuss on the show?
Yeah.
I felt like we was at a big ass. I felt like I was at a big ass flea market.
That's what the vibe was like.
Kind of, sort of. So obviously you have like the center part of the convention hall where they had like, I don't know, let's just say they had like a little amphitheater part where they had like different people that went up there speaking. So I mean, I'm a nerd, but I'm not a nerd to the point where I want to speak. I want to hear the executive producer of, I don't know, the Avengers Infinity War. Like, I don't want to hear.
You're like nerd level here, not nerd level here, is what you're trying to say.
Right. So I'm here, but not all the way up there.
I'm here too. I'm here too.
So like, I'm cool with like watching Marvel movies, but I don't give a damn about the executive producer and what he was trying to like, what he was envisioning. Like, nah, bro. Like, did you put out a dope movie or not? That's all I really need to know. Yeah. I really don't care about who you is. So. So they had like that middle panel. They also had a middle panel of wrestlers. I think I sent you a picture of CM Punk.
I was gonna ask, was he there, because it's in Chicago, right? So
I met CM Punk, saw him out there. Met the Black Original Ranger from Power Rangers, the black guy,
dang.
Zach.
Zach.
So Zach was there. Man. He looks really good. Doesn't look like he's aged. He aged really well.
What does he do now?
I don't know. I guess he just goes to different events and does signings.
It's like a throwback for everybody. Like,
they had They had the Blue Ranger there. Billy.
Billy?
Bro. I had
you
to,
say
like,
he looked terrible?
Bro, if Zach wasn't there next to him, I would have known who he was. I'll put
really?
it like
It's that bad, huh?
It's like night and day. Like, I wouldn't have known who that dude was. So he was there signing autographs, but so when I say it was like a flea market vibe, so like let's just say I bought a couple of artifacts actually there at the Comic-Con. So they had like they had so many booths, MIKEO, where there were just different vendors that were selling, anywhere from comic books to toys, retro gaming. They had Super Nintendo games, Atari games, old school toys, comic books, comic book prints. They had also people that sold, like, created their own things. So I actually bought something from this kid who's actually in college. And he's like a metal sheet dude, and he makes sheet metal of different Marvel or DC like logos. So I've actually bought an Iron Man logo from him, like the Iron Man mask. That's like a sheet metal thing that he did. And it's like basically you hang it up on a door or on a wall. It's just a decoration. I bought it off him for like $35 because that's something that he does. And he said that's what he's doing to pay for college. Bro, I wish I could run upstairs and bring it down here and show you what it is. Like, it's pretty phenomenal. It's pretty cool that he...
Yeah. That's
so
like a one-of-a-kind thing. I mean, not one-of-a-kind, but it's like a rare item, too. It's not like one you can buy in a store,
No, absolutely
it's something
not.
he makes, yeah. So that's pretty dope.
So, yeah, they had things like that. They had, like, a little lightsaber station where you could buy lightsabers. They had places where you can buy masks. They did have some stuff that looked like it was from the flea market, though. I will say that, like... They had some stuff that looked a little flaky, like, bro, I'm not buying that because I feel like I can buy that here in the indoor swap meet here in Las Vegas. So
for 75 cents.
Right, exactly. So that was the kind of giddiest of it. It was like, okay, I see something that I like. I know I'm going to see it further down in the convention. So it's like you were super duper trigger shy to pull the trigger on purchasing anything because it's like, dang, if I see, I don't know, let's just say a Magneto statue for $50, but let's just say you copped it. Not only all sales are final, but let's just say you walk maybe, 10, 15 minutes later on the side of the convention, somebody else might have it for $35.
Oh, so there's similar items being sold. It's like a flea market there.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's exactly what it was. So it's like, bro, like, I would legitimately say for about the first 2 hours, Mike, I ain't buy Jack Diddley Pook except for the Iron Man thing because I knew I was going to find that because he was the only one making it. Yeah, so I saw a lot of different things that I really wanted, but I was super duper like, don't really know if that's something I want to cop right there because I'm pretty sure I can find it in other places. So what ended up happening was and I'll tell people, I bought a new Iron Man statue for my office. And it was basically, I'll send a picture of it to you guys and put it up on our social media or something like that this Saturday. So I bought an Iron Man statue. I bought it from this one dude. He was selling it to, I believe, like $50. And it's the same one that you can get at GameStop for about the same price. So I was like, all right, if I get it, cool. If I find it somewhere else cheaper, at least the worst case scenario, I could be like, well, I bought it for the same price as if I were to buy it at GameStop.
Yeah, you're not getting ripped off.
That's exactly. So I was like, at least I'm getting it for retail. At least I got it for retail. But some of the stuff, like, okay, I didn't show everyone earlier, but that Iron Man fist that I had, that I showed you earlier, Mike?
Yeah.
So I got that for $50. They were selling it for $150.
What?
Yeah. So it ranged anywhere from like $150 anywhere. So $150 on the high end, low end was a bill, $100.
And you got it for 50.
I got it for 50 online.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. So like you kind of had it like, so it was super duper weird where you can find things, you can find good deals, but it was like, all right, you got to basically almost take a couple of laps and see if they see, what the pricing was. So it was very, very interesting to take it like that. But a lot of people watching, a lot of cosplay. I think the dopest outfit I saw was like 3 girls that were dressed up like the Golden Girls. That was pretty funny to see. You definitely saw some Chung-Lees. I saw a dude dressed up as Sonic the Hedgehog. Some dude walked around with just Lucky Charms, like he was the Lucky Charms dude. Yeah, just a little bit of everything, bro. So yeah, it was pretty cool. If I would say I think you would I think you and Jeremy would like it. It's pretty cool to see. Probably take your kids too. Would I go to it again? Probably. I think I would go to a different one. I don't know if I would go to that one. I probably would go to like maybe the one I believe is in New York, and I think that's in August. I would go to that. I think Vegas has one out here, like right around my birthday, around June, end of June, beginning of July. So I would probably check that out. But it's something it's pretty cool. Like if you're
They're
a
all like the
nerd,
same theme. It's kind of like comic books. Well, it's called Comic-Con, right? So it's always the theme is always pretty similar, like Marvel.
I think so. Marvel,
books,
DC,
stuff like that. Yeah,
comic books. They have
it's like a social. It's like it's sounding me like it's like a social gathering in a way.
Think about like this. Think about all the basement kids that never get out, and they're just always like playing World of Warcraft, or like this is their time to shine, and this is probably the only time of the year that they'll get out of their house and actually like socialize. And then they'll go back. Then they'll go back into their little cave or wherever the hell they go back to, and just kind of
drink screen.
Yeah, drink Code Red Mountain Dew and just play freaking World of Warcraft
and Doritos.
And Doritos, the nacho cheese ones. The nacho
cheese got to be the nacho cheese, man. They're not cool enough
cheese.
for the Cool Ranch. I was just playing.
Yeah. So
I don't know why is it always the nacho cheese though?
Why is it always Code Red?
I don't know. Like, they don't even really sell Code Red like that anymore.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, Code Red is actually kind of smacking, bro.
No, like, it is. When I was in high school, I always had it.
I don't like to tell people I drink Code Red because then I get that look like, oh, you one of them, huh?
That's the nerd drink.
Not to mention, here I am with a freaking Green Ranger / White Rangers T-shirt on. So, so I would say, it's cool, but like, it's definitely the time for the Code Red kids, the Mountain Dew Code Red kids, to get their shine on. So,
Code Red Dorito kids.
Yeah, the Code Red Dorito kids. That sit there and got acne all over the face and whatnot. So, I mean, shout out to them, man, because, they need some attention too. So, it's, I think it's a good place it's a safe haven for them. And it's cool to kind of vibe with other people too, especially like someone, hate to be the stereotypical kid, but, a black guy or half black guy going to kind of stepping out of my comfort zone and being able to socialize with other people outside of, I hang out with all kinds of people in my life. So, it's kind of cool to go just kind of step out of your comfort zone and go to something that like, as opposed to me, like I always like to go to sporting events, but went to a comic convention. Like it was pretty dope. Like I will probably remember that for the rest of my life. And it's like, okay, well, let's go to a different one in a different city and see what that one's all about and see what the different vibes are. So
for this one, I mean, you didn't go to Chicago just for the convention, right? I mean, there was you went there for like multiple reasons.
So I did that. So Comic-Con was actually in conjunction with AEW's Revolution pay-per-view. So I didn't actually know that until AEW revealed that they were having Revolution there, the first pay-per-view this year. It was actually announced then that they were doing it in cahoots with the C2E2 event in Chicago. So I initially was just only going to go to AEW Revolution, and then when I found out the Comic-Con, some friends and family of mine, they actually wanted to go to the C2E2 event. I was like, oh, bet. Like, we can just go to the Wintrust Arena, which was literally across the street.
Oh, is that close? Would you say like the people at that convention, the majority of them are wrestling fans?
No.
So, okay.
No, not even close.
No. Okay. I'm just wondering how closely correlated like that. Like since you said the shows are kind of in conjunction with each other.
Yeah, they were in conjunction. Like half of, like I would say 75% of the AEW roster was there for autograph signings.
Oh, they were at the convention?
Moxley, Britt Baker, the Young Bucks, like Kenny Omega, all of them. So the Comic-Con, I think, lasted from Friday till Sunday. So each day they had like an X amount of wrestlers from AEW that were there for signings and stuff like that. So and forgive me, ladies and gentlemen, for always playing with my ears, but I had a technical goof earlier, and the
wired earbuds is the last resort for you, and these either fit in your ear or they don't, and
they don't, and so every time I'm moving and stuff, I feel like they're about to fall out. So I
they don't. For me, they do. It is what it is.
Yeah. So I actually wanted to go to the AEW Revolution event, and I'm gonna say it was in conjunction with Comic-Con. Man, like the way they set up the AEW and how close it was to Comic-Con, and the location of it being right there in like downtown Chicago on the other side of Michigan Ave. I believe it's going towards the riverfront or the river, whatever, the river thingy.
Yeah.
So the Wintrust Arena is the home of DePaul University's basketball team. That's where they play. It's like downtown Chicago. I didn't know that. So it was in a big enough arena, but not like United Center big. So I would say probably the stadium probably seats about I would say it's about the same capacity here in Las Vegas as the MGM. So probably anywhere between like 12 to 15K. 15K.
Full house?
So I would say 85% full. So
not bad. It's
close,
still like a start. They're kind of like a startup when you think about it, you know. So.
They're a startup company, but I'm gonna be honest with you, Michael. I told you earlier today, bro. I think honestly that was probably one of the best overall cards I've ever been to as far as wrestling goes. From start to finish, I would honestly say the only match that fell flat was the women's match. And outside of that, everything else, I would say the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, that has a possibility of being match of the year this year. It's up there. It was a good 35, 40-minute match that just had everyone on their edge. The storytelling was great. Hell, even the Orange Cassidy-Pac match was something that I thought that I was just going to hate because I can't stand Orange Cassidy, but actually Orange Cassidy kind of made that gimmick. He made the gimmick work, and I was
You're starting to like it now, huh?
I am. So I was like, okay, if he keeps that gimmick and he's actually like in the ring doing stuff like that, like I can get jiggy with it. It wasn't that bad. It was actually really, really entertaining, and we all knew Pac was going to win. But it kind of gave you looking at what Orange Cassidy could actually do in the ring. It kind of made you appreciate him even more, and it kind of like you also kind of appreciated the gimmick as well too. So it was like, okay, I can see why the gimmick kind of worked with him and how he kind of puts it together in the ring. What else happened?
I mean, I guess like his character is like
it's entertaining. It's
entertainment at the end of the day, you know. I guess there's a place for that. You know what I'm saying?
It's better than Eric Rowan pulling out a giant toy spider as what's under the cage.
Oh man, you saw that?
I saw the highlights of it. I was just like, bro, like what is going on? So, I mean, when you talk about that, I would take somebody who can't even put up a full thumbs up and he just goes like this. I would take that over a giant spider. I keep calling that. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like the giant spider. Like when I saw it, I'm like, wait, that's not even a real spider.
It's not even real.
You know, like when Jake the Snake, when he had this, it was a real freaking. It was a real snake, man. I mean, now you got fake toy
Coco
spiders.
Beware had a real goddamn parakeet, bro. Like, come on, man.
What's going on, man?
What are you doing? At least Cody Rhodes come out with a real dog. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are you doing? Hangman Page came out with a real horse. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, man? Like, come on, man.
It just makes it like childish.
It does. So even with the Orange Cassidy gimmick, I think that's geared towards kids a little bit. It works. It's kind of cool. I keep calling my man Jack Swagger. I don't know what the hell his name is in AEW. Jake Hager. Jake Hager. So even the Jake Hager versus Dustin Rhodes, Goldust, that was a good starter match.
That was his first official in-ring debut. So.
It was. So that was pretty cool. That was a really, really good match. The Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin was dope. There was some cool spots in that. Yeah. Like I said, the tag team matchup was really, really cool. The women's match was literally the bathroom break. Like, bruh, it was the bathroom.
How can they improve it, man? I just feel it's so crazy. Like, you know how we always talk about WWE and like how we complain about it a lot, but their women's division is great, and it's like the total opposite with AEW.
It's keeping the WWE afloat, I believe.
Yeah, and then it's the total opposite with AEW.
It is, bro. Like
they just need more star power, or what do you think?
I kind of think it is. Like, I know Sasha Banks was going through like somewhat of a dispute with her contract. If AEW somehow was able to get her, and the thing about Sasha Banks is not like she is a Charlotte Flair or Becky Lynch, but she's in that tier, and that would have been somebody cool that you could have brought in. A household name, Snoop Dogg's cousin, someone who's a multiple-time champion who never, you could have used the gimmick of, I'm over here. I didn't get a fair shake over where I initiated, where I started out at. Yeah. They want to give everyone else some love. I'm going to show y'all why I am the best, yada, yada, yada. Like, they could have took off with that. But this Chris Statlander alien, I don't know, bro. Then you got Rio, bro. I think your son is bigger than Rio. That just didn't make sense. The only one I actually kind of like is Britt Baker, and ironically, Britt Baker came from WWE. She was in the Mae Young Classic, and she's actually Adam Cole's girlfriend, like real life. So she's actually probably the best one that's in the in-ring worker, like this big swole chick, Bootsy. Yeah. Nyla Rose, and I hate to say it, she's a man. She's a transsexual.
Yeah.
And
she's the champ.
and she's the champ. So I mean, okay. I mean, if you're gonna do that, you might as well give the belt to Sunny Kiss. So
yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little weird right now.
So I don't know if developing their women is necessarily. I think they got to somehow poach somehow and get something from the WWE, even if it's like a Nikki Cross, Sonya Deville.
They got a ton of women on
Ember Moon. They can get Ember Moon.
Dude, like they totally underutilize her.
Nia Jax, like
they don't even use her.
She's hurt right now. Like I think she'll be back pretty soon. But I'm just thinking about like look how many names I just rattled off, and I'm not even. I didn't even bring up Charlotte, Becky, Bayley, Rhea Ripley, or Shayna Baszler. Like you can even pull out.
That's your favorite, right?
Who? Rhea Baszler. Bro, I already made I'm making sure that's my bathroom break in WrestleMania, bro. There's 2 bathroom breaks that I know I'm gonna be taking. That's gonna be one for sure, and probably Cena Wyatt after their entrances.
What?
Bro, I hate.
You just don't like Wyatt.
I don't.
But it's Cena though. You know he's gonna deliver.
Bray Wyatt's gonna go over Cena.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, bro. I don't want to watch that. Like, I don't want to watch Bray Wyatt. Like, he's gonna do. How many AAs is he gonna eat?
Yeah, true.
How many AAs is he about to eat? 5? Over or under 5 AAs, he's gonna no sell.
Yeah, he will.
He's gonna no sell everything.
He no sold like even Goldberg's
spear.
Yeah. And remember back in the day when Goldberg hit the spear, it was over, man.
It was curtains, bro. Ain't nobody getting up off of that.
Jackhammer, that's it.
He's the one that invented the spear. He's the godfather of the spear. Like,
well, you know what? We're kind of transitioning to this WrestleMania talk. What's interesting?
I'm excited for WrestleMania.
Goldberg and Roman Reigns. That's interesting, right? They both have the same finisher.
Right. They both have the
Goldberg's.
Same finisher. Well, it's a signature mover.
Signature before his setup move.
It's his triangle in WWE 2K.
Triangle, yeah, exactly.
It's his triangle move. But I think, the AEW Revolution card. So I didn't even get to Chris Jericho versus Jon Moxley. Like that was an amazing match. Like overall, bro, like the card was just stacked. I mean, it wasn't even stacked. It was just good storytelling. And it just made me appreciate AEW a little bit more. So it's like, all right, we know we ain't got all the talent in the world, but what we gonna do with this talent? We gonna put some Kool-Aid, we gonna make some sugar, and we gonna put some water, and we gonna get this Kool-Aid mix, and we gonna sit there and make the right measurements, and we gonna make sure that this is drinkable, and it's the right sweetener and everything in this Kool-Aid, and we gonna make sure that everyone's gonna be able to consume it and not get diabetes. So I think they did a phenomenal job as far as that goes. I think they're working with what they got. Then you turn around and Revolution comes on last night, and they're able to just put together. I didn't watch the whole show, but from what I saw, they put a couple of pieces off of that. Oh, I didn't even talk about the MJF Cody Rhodes match.
That MJF is starting to grow on me though. I'm not gonna lie.
Little bit. He needed that win more than Cody did, because it's like, okay, this guy is a good heel. He talks good on the mic, but it's like, what have you done ever in your wrestling career? So theoretically, I understand why he won, because he hasn't really, like, that was his signature win. Like, he needed that win to be like, all right, I beat Cody Rhodes. Like, before that, you can't say anything who is he beating? Like, I know he came from Major League Wrestling, but, bro, like, you're a tool. Like, nobody knows who the hell you are. Yeah. You sit here and pop off at the mouth in wrestling, but, like, nobody really knows who you are. You low-key got zero street cred. So I understand why MJF went over. It's just, every time I look at him, bro, I just look at The Miz. Like, I feel like he's just an edgier. Like The Miz. He looks like he's just an edgier version of The Miz with his comebacks, his witty, what he says to the crowd. He's just a TV-14 version of The Miz. Like, that's something that The Miz could probably do if it was WWE was TV-14. So every time I look at him, I'm like, bro, like, you're just The Miz, just edgier. So his in-ring, I'm not impressed with what he does in the ring. I don't see he just has the it factor on the mic. Like, he can talk with the stick. But other than that,
What do you think, like, with the AEW? I mean, you've been to a ton of WWE events live, and now you've been to a few AEW events live. How's that? What's different about the two? Like, what can you tell when you're there, like, vibe-wise or whatever?
You can definitely tell that WWE is more commercialized, more pop culture, as opposed to AEW is more for, like, wrestling enthusiasts. Even for kids, like, you can definitely. I sat on the road with kids, and they were into it. WWE is just more kiddie. Like, it's definitely not like. I would say AEW treats it like more of a sport of wrestling, as opposed to WWE is like they're entertainers, they're sports
like
entertainers.
A soap opera. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the crowd, like I could definitely tell you just off of the Kenny Omega Hangman Page versus the Young Bucks, like the crowd was so into it, and you could just feel the way the match was just going left and right, and just how invested the fans were, and how they were just on the edge of the seat, and it was just like, oh, something else happened. So as opposed to WWE matches, you don't really get that many. I mean, I know you get it a lot at NXT, but as far as that whole, like, I'm glad the way they did the tag team match, and they followed it up with the women's match. Like, I'm glad they did it because so many people were emotionally vested into it. It was like, all right, bro, we got to take a break.
That tag match was, a good 35, 40 minutes?
It was a good 35, 40 minutes, bro.
Like, if it keeps the audience attention, that's a good thing. Like you were saying, like with WWE, you're not really invested in the matches as much. Like, after a while, it's like so predictable. Then after a while, you're just like, all right, when's it gonna end?
Yeah. So the card started around 6. They had like a little pre-show, and then they had like a little buy-in match. So that was about an hour long. So really, the main card didn't start till about 7, and it got off around a little after 10:30. So it's about a 3.5 hour card, which is about standard for a pay-per-view event. So it was about right. If you take outside of that raggedy buy-in is what they call it, the kickoff show, you check that out. It was a pretty good 4.5 hours if you put it all together. So I'm not going to say that it was AEW. So this is not an AEW's better than WWE moniker. Like, this is not what this podcast is all about. I'm just saying that as a consumer, I enjoyed AEW's Revolution. Like, I went to Double or Nothing, which was their first ever event last year. So you just didn't know what the hell you were walking. It was literally just
it was like
a surprise box. You didn't know what you were getting. The cool thing was Jon Moxley made his debut.
Yeah.
So that was cool. So, but you just didn't know what you were getting into. So here we are, May. We're coming up on a year. They're going to run Double or Nothing back. So I'm actually excited because I already bought my tickets for Double or Nothing to see what they're going to do. Now you go from Revolution in the end of February. Now here's the beginning of April, I'm going to WrestleMania. So I'm actually excited about WrestleMania. I know a lot of people have been complaining about this card. I'm looking at the card. It's not that bad. I think it's a good card, right?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
I think it's better than what it was last year. Like, I can honestly tell you, WrestleMania last year was so much of an afterthought. I feel like I got roofied, and I still don't remember. Like, I legit feel like I got roofied, Mike. Like, I can't.
I remember you really didn't like that last year. You didn't like WrestleMania last year.
Yeah, and then the year before that, the only thing I didn't like was Brock against Roman. But outside of that, it was okay. But I can definitely tell you, last year's WrestleMania was forgetful. Like, me and my boy, we talk about it all the time. We're like, bruh, do you remember anything? And we weren't even drunk. That's the thing. We didn't even drink alcohol. So we're just like, terrible. we don't know what happened. So
maybe you should have.
I wish I would have. Maybe I would have remembered something. So I think overall this card's going to be good. I'm really looking forward to AJ Styles against Undertaker. Like,
that's interesting.
That's interesting. Like, it's. I mean, I'm pretty sure the Undertaker's going to win.
Yeah, for sure.
He's got him. I mean, so
yeah, he got him. Man, he can't keep taking L's at WrestleMania. So
I would probably like to see I would like to see Shinsuke probably do something. But I think Bray Wyatt. What's the guy's name? That big husky dude. Braun Strowman, I think, is the IC champ.
Yeah, he is. Yep.
So I want to see what they do with him. I think he's not getting his due diligence either. He should have been got one of the big titles, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do with the Miz and Morrison as far as if they're going to defend one of their titles. I feel like all titles need to be defended.
On WrestleMania, for sure, they got
all titles got to be defended, bro.
Yeah,
like it has to be. So I know New Japan, they do it like that, but all titles got to be defended during WrestleMania. It's only right. And it kind of resets the year and starts it all over again to kind of show you what's going to be leading up to this year. So I think overall, so you got Cena versus Wyatt, whatever.
I'm excited for Cena though. Come on, man.
I'm excited for Cena. Like, I'm excited to see him.
You're just mad that they had to pair him up with the Fiend.
Man, they could have. Bro, I wouldn't even been mad if it was a fatal 4-way: Goldberg, Reigns, Fiend, and Cena.
True, but you already know what those fatal 4-ways. The fatal thing about those fatal 4-ways is always focused on 2 people, and the other 2 are laid out in the ring.
Yeah, I mean,
for like 5 minutes. And stuff,
right, and it gives everybody, and then everyone gets like one huge spot that they can utilize and kind of say like, oh. So I mean, I would have been cool with that. One match that kind of is just interesting. And I'm like, why is this? Why? I feel like Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte, that should be on TakeOver.
Yeah, for sure.
That should be on Taker. Yeah. That should not be on WrestleMania.
Yeah, because it's for the NXT strap.
That's what I'm saying. So why is that not on TakeOver?
I don't know. That's an interesting point there. It should be.
I feel like it should be. Like, I think it would bring more validity to, not that NXT needs more validity, but it would be dope. Like, hey, she just won the Royal Rumble. She's coming to TakeOver to challenge Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
I think that's a dope story. Then Rhea Ripley's kind of defended at Mania. So then now what do you do for TakeOver?
Yeah, because at the same time that makes NXT seem like a, if Charlotte's like, you know what, I'm coming to your show to make it seem like it's a legit show. So.
Exactly, not the minor leagues, but you got Rhea Ripley I don't know. I'm okay with the match itself. Like, I don't have any issues with it, but I do have an issue with it being defended at Mania as opposed to TakeOver, because now you're leaving. Because now, I mean, the TakeOver before Mania is their biggest TakeOver of the year. So now you're kind of leaving a huge void in the women's division on the NXT side, because now it's being defended at Mania. So what are you going to do for TakeOver Tampa? I mean, what are the chicks going to fight for? Like, what's the end game for them?
So that's a good point.
So I that's the only quirk where I was just like, don't really know how I feel about that. The Andre Battle Royal, that got to go, and that Women's Battle Royal got to go. Like, if they're not for titles or anything like that, stop wasting people's time.
That Andre Battle Royal, I mean, it's for mere entertainment, man. That's it. Like, there's really no point.
Waste of my time, bro.
There's really
it's
no
a waste
point.
Of my time.
The winner gets a statue. Nobody gives a crap about. But
do you take the statue home?
I'd hope so. I would, shoot.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me win this piece of crap, make me be in this match. I better bring that statue home.
You would have to, right? Like, one would think so. So I don't know, but so I'm excited for the WrestleMania card. So it's kind of cool. I get to go to Revolution, WrestleMania, and then I go to Double or Nothing, all within like a 3-month span. So 2 AEWs and one WrestleMania. So we'll see. But AEW, I wanted people to I definitely want our viewers and listeners to think like, it's not supposed to compete with WWE. Like, it's something completely different. Yeah. And it's like you said, you brought up a good point, bro. Like, it's something I didn't even think of. It's a startup company. Like, so they don't have, they do have a big budget. Like, they got, they got WAP. They got more money than Vince McMahon, believe it or not. They got but they're not trying to.
Because the owner's dad is, what's the backstory? He's like the owner of.
The owner's dad is the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I think he owns a share of Man U.
Oh, there you go.
So, and I think they made their money off of some type of car patent, and I could be wrong, but I want to say I think they're the ones that invented the air conditioning seats, and they have the whatever it was, they had a patent to whatever, some type of groundbreaking automobile feature, and they sold it, and that's where they made their guap, and they were able to purchase the Jacksonville Jaguars. And they were able to purchase. I'm pretty sure it's Man U that they purchased, like a small share, but a small share of Man U. I mean,
so basically, AEW does have the funding. It's just like, I guess brand wise, it's just so new.
Yeah, and they're not also trying to spend all the money and try. Like, they've already said, like, they're not going to be poaching any WWE superstar that leaves the WWE. Like, they're not about to be poaching them just because they left the WWE, which is kind of contradicting to what they're saying, because apparently I guess Matt Hardy is signed with the WWE. I'm like, bro, Matt Hardy got to be pushing 50.
Wait, Matt Hardy? Yeah, he's done, right? I mean, is that storyline or is that real? He's done.
He's done with the WWE, but I heard it looks like he's signed with AEW.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So apparently, there's a video that says Matt Hardy broke the internet because I guess he did the Young Bucks have a YouTube channel where it's called Being the Elite. And it's a little backstory about what's going on during the week, and it's like a reality show. And apparently they went over to the Matt Hardy compound. I forgot what it's called when he did the whole broken Matt Hardy thingy. Yeah. But apparently I guess they drove up to Matt Hardy's compound and they kind of talked to him. I didn't watch the video. I'm probably gonna watch it after the show. But apparently it looks like all signs are leading to Matt Hardy signing with AEW. I'm neither for or against it. I didn't really watch that whole broken Matt Hardy thingy in TNA, but apparently, by the time he got to WWE, they just butchered it really bad, and they didn't really run with the whole gimmick. But I
don't know if they were able to. Legally, maybe.
Yes, legally, I know legally somehow they were able to kind of change it. I think it was woken Matt Hardy and
yeah.
Broken Matt Hardy and
they switched
WWE.
the letter.
Yeah, pretty much. So So I don't know what the end game is, but I know like they signed Luke Harper. So it's like, okay, he was okay in the WWE, but like all he was just basically Bray Wyatt's henchman. So
pretty much
whatever. So you're saying that you don't want to sign all of these people, but yet you're signing Matt Hardy and Luke Harper.
Yeah, Matt Hardy is, he probably has a few years left in him, if any.
Now, if they said they got Jeff Hardy, I'd have been like, okay, I can get that.
Yeah, that's a little different.
That's a lot different. Like they were like, all right, we gonna get Jeff Hardy, cool. But they did get this guy named Lance Archer from New Japan. He's pretty good. I've seen a couple of his matches. Like he's pretty dope. He had a feud with Jon Moxley, so it's gonna be really interesting. Side note. Jon Moxley is the New Japan Pro Wrestling United States champion. He's also now the AEW World Heavyweight champion.
How does that work? Like, that's
going to be interesting. So it's going to be really, really interesting how they do that because, well, one, New Japan right now is they've suspended all of their activities for like the next 15 days because of the whole coronavirus. Right. So all of their events have been canceled, and I think they were having their G1 Climax tournament. Where basically they get the call, like I guess they're the number one contender, and it kind of ties into something. There's a lot of different tournaments where they get like number one contender. It's weird, but it's pretty cool. But he's like the U.S. champ, and it's like right under the U.S. champ belt in New Japan is like right under, it's kind of hard to explain. The New Japan Pro Wrestling Intercontinental Champion is equivalent to like the WWE World Champion. The World Heavyweight Champion is almost like their mid-carder. Like it's upper mid-card. Mm-hmm. And then their U.S. Champion is like equivalent to their WWE U.S. Champ or IC Champ. So Jon Moxley has like he has a legit belt over in New Japan. And now he's the top guy in AEW. So it's going to be interesting to see how, because New Japan actually let Chris Jericho walk in the ring with the AEW belt when he fought the other guy. So it's going to be interesting to see, but Jon Moxley hasn't worn his belt over to New Japan, and they haven't even, to AEW, and they haven't even brought it up. So it's kind of interesting to see what they plan on doing.
That's not a conflict, right? I mean, how is that dynamic? Are they competitors or?
Chris Jericho's been very, very vocal saying like, bro, let's work with whoever wants to work with us. But I think because of the way Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks left New Japan, there's a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth on the way they left, going with Cody and starting this whole All Elite Wrestling.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of beef, but like it ain't like full beef because obviously they let Chris Jericho come and Jon Moxley come and wrestle. So, but Chris Jericho's been super duper vocal, but I think they're gonna have to. I think within the next year or two, they're gonna have to kind of come up with some type of working relationship. I know they work with Ring of Honor out here, but I think that relationship is kind of souring. So it's gonna be interesting to see. But I would like to see New Japan and AEW. I think it's a little bit better. I think that's a better working relationship to me, if you ask me. But I don't know. I don't make the
well, like Bellator and One Championship, they work together on a card too. So I mean, that happened. Well, it's kind of like that. Like UFC does their own thing. They're kind of like the WWE. They're like separated to do their own thing. And then you got these other
so I don't think it hurt
working together.
I don't think it would hurt like if they all started working together. But I know there's a little bit of bad. I know they weren't really happy with Kenny Omega leaving New Japan the way he did. But, I mean, eventually you got to, it's not like, it is what it is, and it's business.
It's business,
It is business, and, at the end of the day, we're talking about predetermined results.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. But
I guess the benefit of working together, I mean, is that they both benefit from it, so it's not like,
sure.
I mean, I don't see that being a bad thing. Besides just the bitterness, that situation.
Well, not only that, Mike, like you got to think about it. Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, Cody, even Hangman Page, all of those guys came from New Japan. So imagine them coming back. Not to mention Kenny Omega's a freaking Japanese citizen.
True.
So like, imagine them coming back to New Japan and being able to be like, all right, we basically, we didn't invent, but we were one of the part of one of the most popular factions ever, and now we're coming back to kind of with the whole Bullet Club situation now, and not to mention the Bullet Club ain't even what it is now compared to what it was when AJ Styles was running it. Cody Rhodes was in it. Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks. Who else is in the Bullet Club? That's no longer. Finn Balor is the founder. He's the one that created it.
Yeah.
The OC, all of the OC, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, they were part of the Bullet Club. So like,
a lot of people were. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Adam Cole was in it. So he was part of the Bullet Club. So I mean, there's so many different ways that they can spin it off, and just so many different dream matches that you can do. I think it's cool, man, because I think a lot of people outside of your little WWE newbies and the loyalty to WWE, I think a lot of people are starting to get tired of the WWE. Like, I know you and I talked about it, but I'm over it.
I'm getting really tired of it, honestly.
I am. It's
I don't want to be, but
it's hard, bro. Like when you're looking at Eric Rowan pull out a goddamn spider, like what?
Yeah.
I tried watching Super Show, and even the whole. I'm okay personally with Goldberg winning because I just don't like Bray Wyatt.
I hate the way it ended, though. Oh my!
I hate the way it ended too, but at the same time, I was like, bro, like, can we get Bray Wyatt to do something besides stop? Like, can he stop no selling? Like, okay, you no sell, you put somebody in the mandible claw. Like, I want to see you do something. Can you put somebody in the freaking what was his Sister Abigail? Like, can you start doing it? Like, what are you doing? Like, I haven't seen you move. I haven't seen you do anything but no sell. Put somebody in the mandible claw, and that's it.
Yeah, and I don't really like the mandible claw on him.
I don't like it. Just like I don't like the stunner.
I don't like
Kevin Owens.
I don't like Kevin Owens doing the stunner, man. Like same thing. Like it's cringe every time I see it.
Yeah, and then not to mention Monday Night Raw. I guess one Monday Night Raw falls on March 16th, 3/16. They're bringing Stone Cold Steve Austin back.
I saw that.
Come on, like how corny is that?
3/16 day.
He's going to come in there, say a couple of jokes, drink some beer, and then stun whoever is going to be in the ring with him. Like, it's inevitable. It's so predictable.
Sadly, people are going to watch, though, including me, because I'm a huge Stone Cold fan. I love Stone Cold,
but I'm not. Like, it has to be, like, I feel like we have to come to a point where we can't be like, oh, I'm going to watch it because either we're with WWE or we ain't.
I don't think we are. That's the thing.
Well,
I don't think we are.
Everyone's like, but I hate the whole notion where everyone's like, well, I hate the WWE. The only thing I watch is NXT. Nah, bro. If you really hate the WWE, you got to cut the NXT out too. Because if you start hurting NXT,
all under the same umbrella.
Exactly. Yeah. So this whole notion of, oh, I don't watch WWE, but I watch NXT. Nah, bro. You watch WWE, bro.
Yeah.
Like, stop, man. You watch WWE. That's like me saying, oh, I ain't gonna buy no more Nikes, but I'll buy Jordans. What?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing. So if you really don't want to watch WWE, you got to stop watching it all. And that's when Vince McMahon's going to be like, okay, maybe I need to start listening to these people. Because even the whole Ricochet thing, like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, it was squash.
Why? Why?
No apparent reason.
Apparently so. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, that didn't make sense. And I hate this. The Street Profits make me cringe. Why they won the tag team titles?
Yeah, I know you're not a fan.
I'm not, because you got another tag team in AEW that are pretty much the same thing. Private Party or something like that.
Private Party, yeah.
They're the same thing. Like, I don't know who's who. I don't. So
they should settle it in the ring.
That would be kind of funny.
Retirement match.
Retire your dumbass gimmick match.
Yeah, change the gimmick.
Change
your
gimmick.
Y'all can't have it.
Because both of those gimmicks are crazy. They're just terrible. So
I liked it in the beginning, but then it's just starting to get annoying. I'm not gonna lie.
They're terrible. Like, I don't. Yeah. Okay, I don't even. What's his name? Montrezl is actually a basketball player. What's the guy's name that's married to Bianca Belair?
Don't know his name.
Anyway,
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. That clown. Okay, so he can jump out of the building. Whoop-de-doo. Like, bro, they suck, man. Like, I don't find it entertaining at all. Like, they suck. Ain't nothing funny about them. Then they bring an empty ass Solo cup out. If you're gonna have something, at least double up on the Solo cup and put a little gin and juice in there. Like, have something in there. Like, you got an empty Solo cup. You
That's what I'm saying,
ice cubes in there, bro.
That's what I'm saying. All these props that they use is
they're corny.
It makes it even cornier. Like,
bro, you couldn't even have ice water in there. Like, seriously,
something.
you can't even have something, an empty ass solo cup,
sweet
bro.
tea, I don't know.
Something, apple juice, soda, some Coke, some Code Red. You can't even have some Code Red in there?
Red, yeah.
Come on, man. Dang. You got an empty ass solo cup. Come on, man. Cut it out. They gotta go. If they were to leave tomorrow, I wouldn't miss them.
Yeah, true.
I wouldn't miss them.
I don't know, man. I'm gotten to the point where I'm like, Attitude Era's over. I mean, it's never gonna get. I don't know. This is just for me. It's never gonna get as good as it was. I don't know.
No, that's how I feel right now. Well, the thing about it is, there's just no character development.
It's lacking.
So, like, obviously, we had a Stone Cold Steve Austin. They developed the character. He was able to, do that. The Rock, Triple H, Mankind, hell, Undertaker, Kane. Okay, we can even.
Dude, remember Gangrel, man? Edge and Christian with the
Gangrel. The Brood.
Man, the Brood. They had a bunch of great gimmicks.
The Hardys were part of the Brood.
Oh yeah, that's true. Jeez.
So, like, I'm just thinking, like, you got that. I mean,
the Nation,
John Cena.
Yeah,
JBL.
when he came out as a rapper. Yeah, the
JBL.
Ministry of Darkness. I mean, they had a lot of great
So
gimmicks.
My thing is, what are they doing now? Nothing.
It's either nothing or it's like a duplication.
Yeah, but
I don't know, man. I'm really actually frustrated with it. Like I love watching wrestling, like WWE specifically growing up, and I'm just like, man, I really can't watch it. I've been watching AEW every Wednesday. That's about it. So like I don't even watch NXT anymore, and
I haven't watched NXT.
I don't tune into that. So it's just.
I think I watched TakeOver the other day.
Yeah.
And even then, like even that. Like, nothing against TakeOver. Like, I'm cool with TakeOver, but even then, it's just like, all right, bro. Like, I don't know. It's just, I just feel like, even with me watching TakeOver, I just feel like it's just leaving a bad taste in my mouth because I know it's a WWE product. Yeah. And I'm having a hard time supporting it. It's just like, okay, I know it's WWE. I know it's TakeOver, and we're supposed, like, people are saying that TakeOver, NXT is probably the best promotion. But I'm like, no, it's not, because it's still falling under WWE. And now there's this whole notion that they're like, okay, if Vince leaves, there's not even a guarantee that Triple H will take over the company.
Yeah, and they're saying Shane might?
It's basically probably going to be left to what Shane wants to do because he's the oldest. So, and they just fired their top two COOs, and now, like, nobody really knows who's in charge of the company. So everyone's like, oh, well, Hunter Hearst Helmsley's the vice president of talent relations. Talent relations, but like I'm like, okay, like he goes and finds the talent, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's gonna have the final say so right now because
he's a recruiter.
He's a recruiter.
Yeah,
he's a he's the guy that he does the job interview.
He's not the CEO. He's a recruiter. He's just bringing the talent in. So
and not to mention, like, a lot of people from Japan, they're not leaving. A lot of people from New Japan are like, hell no, we're not leaving New Japan just to come to the WWE and kill an NXT just to get put in the main roster and look like doo-doo on a stick. Like, a lot of people are like, nah,
that's the pattern. That's the pattern.
Yeah, it's been the whole thing. Is like, it's bad. Like, even the War Raiders, like, you know. So I don't know what the intentions or what they're gonna do, but I do know that this ain't the solution, and they got to start figuring out real quick because SmackDown's losing viewers. Raw's been super duper inconsistent.
Yeah.
And here's the cold thing about it, bro. They're on the verge of possibly selling their pay-per-view rights to probably like ESPN. So now people who've been paying $9 a month for all the content, they're not even
not no more.
Bruh, if they do that, it's curtains for them. Because you can't go for damn near almost, I don't know how long the WWE Network's been on Surface, but I know it's been over 5 years.
Yeah, it's been a while, for sure.
It's been about 5 years.
Yeah.
So you can't go from 5 years giving people $9.99 all you can eat buffets, and then you be like, all right, cool, we're gonna charge you all $9.99 on the appetizer, but for the main course, you gotta pay cough up that
$59.99.
Hell no, bro. Like, that's gonna be the end of them, bro.
I wouldn't. You know what's crazy? Like, back in the day, I would pay $59.99 for a pay-per-view. Now, no, man. Because 9 times out of 10, the pay-per-view just under-deliver. I mean, there are times where the pay-per-view is pretty good, but it's like, I wouldn't spend $60 on it. You know,
that's a utility bill.
Seriously, yeah, that is.
Bro, there's no 100%. Way if this is true that they're gonna go probably, and they're thinking about it's gonna be ESPN. So theoretically, it's gonna be like the same kind of platform how ESPN Plus does it with the pay-per-view, and I still don't even understand that crap.
What, the UFC pay-per-views?
Yeah, I still don't. Maybe you can paint a better picture for that, because I still don't even know how that whole picture is
so,
painted.
I mean, you gotta pay the $4.99, $5.99, whatever it is a month for the ESPN Plus exclusive material. Pay-per-view, you still gotta pay $59.99 or $64.99 now. I don't know, something like that.
I think they raised the prices
through that platform. So you gotta have ESPN Plus. It's a paywall. You gotta pay that first, and then when the pay-per-views, you pay for the pay-per-views.
So you can't even go on like Comcast and be like, yo, I want to watch John Jones versus
Not anymore.
DC.
Nope. Woo. ESPN exclusive. ESPN Plus exclusive pay-per-views.
So basically the WWE is trying to do the same thing, and they think it's going to be with ESPN.
Man, that's not a smart move, because I mean, it was already like, I remember hearing rumors that they were going to raise the price of the WWE network.
And I'd have been cool with that.
Yeah. Like a few bucks or whatever, fine. You know, you get a lot of material.
They're going to have different tiers. They're going to have one tier. They're going to have tier 1 and tier 2.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. One probably just includes one just includes like past material, and one probably includes pay-per-views as well, or something like that.
Something like that.
$15 or something.
I think they were only going to raise it up to $15.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. That's smart. That's smarter.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
But if you're gonna bring it to ESPN, that's gonna be the end of them. I mean, what's crazy is like when they did the WWE Network, that was like actually really good. I mean, I think it was really a smart move.
I thought it was a smart move.
Yeah, but now they're gonna back off from that.
I don't know, bro. I don't know what the end result is, but I think they're gonna lose a lot of people doing that. Like, I'm not paying $59. I'm not paying $59 for no pay-per-view, bro. I would rather go to WrestleMania just so I don't have to pay for that $59. As stupid as that sounds.
100%. No, I mean, you're not lying.
As stupid as that sounds.
I mean, you're. The thing is, when you go live, it's different, right? Because you get it's a different experience than watching it on TV. So I would rather pay
no damn WrestleMania party.
Yeah.
You're not throwing a WrestleMania fight party as opposed you would like a UFC fight party
or a boxing party.
Even when I was a kid and we were super duper poor, I don't remember going like, hey, Mike, we're in the 10th grade. We're going to go ask our parents, hey, do you think I can invite Mike over and he brings over $10 and like we can watch wrestling? Hell no.
I did that back in. Well, I never. I did it like 1 year. I had a friend who was really into wrestling. So he did come over. We had a little party type of viewing of WrestleMania, but yeah, not regularly, not like a actual fight. I don't know why not, but yeah, I never really did that.
Because you got the damn WWE Network for $9.99, and you can watch it in your own confines in your home. You have to sit there and be a nerd with everyone else.
Yeah.
Not to mention, you got to be like, hey, bro, you like wrestling, I like wrestling. You know, like, bro, if they go with this moniker, bro, it's gonna be terrible.
Yeah, it's gonna be over. I mean, that's not good. Maybe Vince doesn't care because he's just, he's just XFL, man.
I just don't get it. But that's what I think under their Q1 report, the revenue meeting they have with their shareholders, that's what they were talking about, is that they're looking at it. And it looks like it might be ESPN, and they're going to do the whole.
Wait, but aren't they on Fox for SmackDown?
Yes, that's the wild thing about it.
That's confusing then.
That's the wild thing.
How does that work?
I don't know. Well, I mean, Fox does have it embedded in the contract that says that they can pull out at any given time. It's not because, I mean, think about the numbers. Like, I know Fox got to be fuming right now.
Yeah.
That they spent $2 billion and they can't even pull more than $2.2 million.
Yeah.
But then again, it's on a terrible night. Like, I purposely I don't watch WWE SmackDown because it's on Friday. Like, I will do anything else to watch, and like 9 times out of 10, half the stuff I DVR, I don't even watch it anyway. So if I miss it, oh well. And I'm not going back to watch SmackDown. So I just feel like SmackDown is just on a terrible night. But then it's like, where else can you put them? What other night can you put SmackDown on? I think Tuesday was probably the best night.
That's where it was before, right? So was it on Tuesday?
So yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, that's what it was. That was what it was. Yeah,
it was on Tuesday. Yeah. So I always thought, and I was talking to somebody at my job. He brought up a good point. Why not have it on Sunday?
If there's not a pay-per-view, right?
If there's not a
pay-per-view, move the pay-per-view on Saturday. Well, then they got the NXT's pay-per-views though on Saturdays.
Move it to move. So here, okay, crazy
Friday. I don't know.
Last year NXT Takeover during WrestleMania weekend was on a
Friday.
Friday.
On Friday. You're right. Yeah.
And they didn't put it on a Saturday because they folded to New Japan. They gave New Japan their own night.
That's right.
So why not move it as Friday Takeover? Get everybody hyped up Saturday night, try to steal a UFC fight viewers, try to steal boxing viewers when it's on these nights and trying to take some of these things away. Lower the prices to $39.99. You might be able to get some new people. But this whole notion of man, if they do that, bro, I'm officially done with WWE.
Wait, so you're telling me that they're gonna get rid of the network entirely, huh?
I don't know if they're entirely gonna get rid of the network. They're just gonna sell their pay-per-view events exclusively to, I think it's ESPN. I'll send you the article.
How many pay-per-views are they gonna get? Like purchase like 10? I mean, nobody's gonna pay for it.
It just doesn't make sense. It's just not a bit. I don't know. I mean, obviously, you and I are sitting here and we're not sitting in Corey Graves' podcast, but I don't see what the benefit is, and if they're like, who's their R&D team? Like, who's the one that's actually thinking this, saying like, this is how much revenue we'll be able to bring in if we go with this model? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So, but well, more to follow, I guess. So. We'll see what ends up happening. We got Elimination Chamber this weekend, which is basically a throwaway pay-per-view.
Wait, that's this weekend?
It's Sunday, yeah.
Are you serious? I didn't even know that. Wow.
So I'm not watching it.
I really keep up. Well, yeah, that's because you're going to the pay-per-view on Saturday, right?
Yeah. So
that's a good card to go to.
Yes, it is. I just wish I knew some of these people that I'm going to be watching.
You called the main eventer a clown.
That dude is a clown.
No, he's not.
The guy out here choreographing dance moves before he steps in the ring, that guy?
Dude, that was sick. Hey, you know who he was dancing with?
No. The TikTok girls?
That's his coaches. So that shows that he has a great relationship with his coaches. He's like a hybrid, man. He can talk the talk, he's entertaining, but he's also a great fighter. So
we'll see.
It's going to be a tough fight for him. He picked the toughest one against...
Is he the champion?
Yeah, he's a champ.
Oh, well, we'll see.
He's fighting Yoel Romero.
Never heard of him. I legit have not heard of the two title fights.
But you know what? I'm more excited about the co-main than the main, to be honest with you.
That's what everyone's saying. The co-main event's going to be lit.
It's going to be lit.
Yeah, so...
You're going to love it. I suggest you watch the UFC Countdown episode on YouTube.
Oh, well, I definitely got to figure out who these people are, so I'll definitely watch it. But I am excited to actually go. Not to mention I got it for the free $99, so I'm down.
How you get it for free?
I'll tell you offline.
Offline. Okay.
Offline. It's not nothing shady. Like, I just ended up getting it for free. So if it wasn't for me getting it for free, I wasn't going to go. But tickets were really dirt cheap, and I don't know if it's just because a lot of people just don't know who these fighters are. But for it to be a Vegas fight and for me to come up on free tickets, the way I got them, it's pretty rare. I'll put it like that. So, make a long story short, I'm part of this veterans club, and they usually give out like a whole bunch of tickets to different events. UFC is never on there in Vegas. Like they never have tickets available, and they had over 500 tickets available.
Whoa!
Which means this ain't selling well.
Yeah, that's not.
So they need butts to come to this. So they gave away 500 free tickets to veterans, and they never give tickets away. So that Conor fight, I think, was in Vegas. They didn't give nothing away.
Nah, no way.
The last John Jones fight that I went to, they didn't give nothing away.
Oh, really? I was surprised.
No.
I feel like this card's more hyped than that one, but interesting.
So this is probably the first time since I've been a member of this Veterans Club thingy that they've seen tickets at UFC. Like, I've seen them in different venues, like different places outside of Vegas, but here in Vegas, first time ever, bro.
That's interesting.
And it's 500 of them. So that just shows me right now.
That's very interesting.
That tickets, they're not moving at all. That they're not selling. And to me, that shows me that, I don't know, bro. It just says that I think they got to do a better job marketing their fighters.
They do, and they have ESPN now, so there's no excuse at this point.
Exactly.
I mean, I do see the commercials.
I haven't even seen any commercials on ESPN about them. They haven't been on none of the shows. I've
seen some commercials. I mean, it's not as in your face, though. I feel like they can do more with it.
They haven't been on none of the primetime shows promoting the fight.
Especially this card. This card is absolute fire, man. It's gonna be.
They need to. They need to be doing something. Yeah. But I can tell you that I watch all of the primetime shows. They haven't been on Get Up. They haven't been on First Take. Nothing. They might come on Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. That's too last minute, though.
Hell yeah, bro.
At that point, right? So,
yeah, they'll probably come on Friday. Or they'll come on tomorrow. Is Friday. What am I talking about? They'll come on tomorrow.
Dang, tomorrow is Friday.
Yeah, they'll come on tomorrow. But I can't see anything else, bro. So I don't know, man. So I'm excited to see that. So other than that, man, I think
Hey,
we covered everything today.
Yeah, we can probably talk about that card next week.
Next week, yes, we will talk about the card. Yes, we will.
100%.
So tell them where we can find you at, man.
You can find me on Instagram, MiKeoMania, MIKEOMANIA. And how about yourself, man?
Hey, you can find me you can definitely find me on social media. Follow me at MoneyCompton on the gram. That's the best way to follow me. I got Twitter, Eric T. Compton. I'm on there, but I ain't on there, and I need to be on there a little bit more.
You know what? So. I feel the same way. Like, I have Twitter, but I only use it to look at, like, what's trending. I don't really participate on there too much. I just kind of read and
which I need to be, like, posting stuff, but I feel like I post more on Instagram. So
Instagram more fun.
Hey, get me up to 1,000 followers, and I promise you I'll make my my profile public. How about that? Get me to 1,000 followers. I'm at 8 something. Get me up to 1,000, ladies and gentlemen. I'll make
200 more.
200. So I need y'all to tell 3 people. MoneyCompton at Instagram. MiKeoMania at Instagram.
Mine is public. So.
I'm gonna be there, bro. I'm gonna make it there. So
that's my public. I got a private one too, but we're only talking to public today. So.
I feel it. So anywho's. Other than that, man, that's all we got today, right?
Yes, sir. Lions Den.
Hey, run it back next week, right?
Next week.
Sounds good, man. We out.
All right, man. Peace.
Later.